I met her in Manchester.
Yeah. Okay, people, we're at the Digital ID today in Liverpool. Gotta get some speakers up now.
Well, Paul, how's that?
Don't you want Fiona to open it up, like?
She said she does, don't want to. I'm going to ask her though. Hold this, mate.
Yeah.
Give me your phone. Yeah. I can open yours up anyway.
Yeah.
Not loud enough or what? Put this speed louder!
Just about the past, the present and the future. It shows you the struggle between good and evil, and how God has preserved to play a whole Bible with constant
Anybody that submits to this, anybody that accepts a digital ID is slapping the cuffs, around their own wrists. It's the end of freedom, it's the end of choice, it's the worst possible decision that any freedom-loving person could possibly make. But as I say, I was pessimistic about it for a while, I'm not anymore. We've got them on this. We have been surrounded. Their arguments don't stack up. None of the reasons that they've put forward for doing this make any kind of sense. The very idea that this is going to tackle the people arriving by boats on the shores of the British Isles is absolute nonsense. It was never supposed to do that. The appetite, the desire to bring forward the digital ID was years ago. It was understood by the people that wanted to bring it forward that the British people would not accept it. So problems had to be fomented to make people desperate to accept this as a solution. Hence the opening of the borders and the mass immigration onto these shores that has stoked.
Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Say No to Digital ID event here today in Liverpool. Can I just introduce our first speaker? Here to say a few words to us all. Fiona Rose Diamond. Give her all a round of applause, people.
Come on, Fiona.
See how loud it is. Can we I mean, I think I might get my megaphone out. It might be a little bit easier. But yeah, people, yeah? Good. I don't know if you guys can hear me, because it's a bit, I don't know if you want to come around here. But I just wanted to get everyone together, because I'm obviously, hi guys, yay! Hello Liverpool, anyway, it's a real pleasure to be here. I've been going around the regions, and I've so far been to, can I put my bag down? Sorry, I'm speaking. I've been to, obviously I did the mass non-compliance protest in London on the 18th of October. We had thousands of people, and thousands of people joined us along the way. I then went to Cardiff, I then went to Newcastle and Birmingham, and now I'm here with you guys. And I just want to press the importance as well about doing things in the regions and how important community is, and how I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to put the word unity back in community, because we need to reach the people and tell them what this issue is really about. I think the problem is with digital ID that people think that it's just a digital version of you on your phone, but it's so much more than that. It's a link in the chain to a total digital infrastructure for control. And whether people know it or not, digital ID is already here. The UK Government One Login is already a digital verification service. Companies House company directors are being forced to use Government One Login to verify their identification digitally. And eventually everyone will be pushed on to the Government UK One Login to get the UK Gov wallet on your phone, and that will host your digital ID. Digital ID, as they're selling it now, is just one token in the whole wallet. And the problem with this is that, the dog's adorable, but I get distracted really easily, if you couldn't tell by the way, guys. So the digital ID is actually already here in, de facto with Government One Login. So the first thing you can inform people about is not to use Government One Login and never, ever, ever download the Gov UK wallet on your phone. Just don't do it. But also I think it's really important because this issue will be and is being politicised. This is nothing to do with immigration whatsoever. It's the most ridiculous excuse they could use to force this upon 100% of the population. They are saying that they need digital ID to deal with illegal working, illegal renting and undocumented individuals. There's up to 1.8 million undocumented people in this country. That's a rough figure. That's a 1.46% problem that they're trying to deal with. So they want to surveil 100% of citizens in this country to deal with a 1.46% problem. And you really think that people who have entered illegally are going to be going and signing up for a digital ID? It's all through fear and coercion. And I hate to say it, just like the mandates, the lockdowns and the COVID jabs, they use coercion and fear-mongering and propaganda and lies repeatedly. So any of you, thank you. Can you guys hear me back there? So any of you that were out during that time, obviously I don't assume that people sort of know who I am, but one of the reasons I care about this so much is because obviously I care about humanity. The only reason that I carry on campaigning and carry on working is because this is all connected. The lockdowns, the mandates and the vaccine passports they attempted to roll out to the entire population in 2021, we pushed back with protest on the street, campaigning in the regions, handing out leaflets in the regions like you're doing here today. And it's so important to reach everybody. And I don't want to miss any points. I'm going down weird. Sorry. So yeah, we need to inform people about what digital ID really is. And when you combine that with central bank digital currency, which is being rolled out right now, and by the way, I know that you do keep cash campaigns, guys, and you have pushed the plans to roll out a CBDC by 2025 by 2 years. The human pushback has delayed the World Economic Forum plans to have CBDC by 2 years. They've written it themselves because they know that people want to keep cash. They've been indoctrinating teenagers and children to rely on their phones. So the first thing that you guys can do, if you can, get rid of your smartphone. It's really, really hard. But stop using biometrics. Use protective software on your phone, VPNs and things like that. Don't give passwords to people. Use really strong passwords. Keep using cash. Don't even put your wallet on your phone. Don't put your bank cards on your phone. Try and keep your life disconnected from this digital device because they don't want you to live an analog life anymore. And this is exactly what we need to stop. And the thing is, people don't understand where this has come from. This is not Starmer's plan. This is not Tony Blair's plan. Tony Blair thinks there's too many people on this planet. He said it himself. That man is soulless and evil, and he gives the globalist diktat to our government that they follow. But this has come from the globalists, the World Economic Forum, and the shadowy groups beneath them, bankrolled by the likes of Vanguard and BlackRock, who are buying up our farmland. They want to own the ground beneath our feet, the air that we breathe, the oceans that connect us, and the food that we consume. They want to own and control everything. It's not conspiracy theory, it's fact. And I'm very bored of the fact that I've had to speak softly about certain things when I used to go out campaigning about the COVID jab and tell people it would be safer to wait. No, I don't want this, and I won't be dragged into a dystopian, tyrannical hell by people who have blind faith in government and who have no idea where we're heading and where we're going to be if we don't fight back now. And thank you. And the other thing that I think people need to, you probably all know here, but I think we need to educate people on our government, Westminster, Parliament, MPs, shiny new parties. We need to stop looking to them for salvation. I don't know if any of you do, but I'm sorry, we are not going to vote our way out of this. This is globalist diktat that 193 countries signed up to in 2015. They signed us away for power and profit, our lives and our souls. They signed us away in 2015. The United Nations Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development is the reason that this is happening now. They want to own everything, control everything, and to them, the globalists and our own government, who are their puppets, we are just useless eaters and consumers that will one day be equally controlled and equally poor if they have their way. And digital ID is the gateway to that. So please inform people. There's leaflets behind me on the table here. I brought some massnoncompliance.com leaflets. Please encourage people to take accountability for their own knowledge, because I don't know if I've got left in me what I had in me in 2020 when I was campaigning relentlessly on the streets and crying myself to sleep because of what we were going into, the harm that I knew was going to be caused. I don't think I've got that left in me anymore. I want to be able to fight this. I want to be able to keep going. But if we get past a certain point and we don't educate and inform people, guys, we are going to be living in a dystopia. So I'm really glad that there's this amount of people here today, because I've been to a couple of regions. And by the way, guys, give yourselves a round of applause, because this is really good numbers. And I'm really pleased to see you all. And especially, hello. Nice to meet everybody. Don't want to forget anything. I know that it's hard as well to get down to London, guys. If you can, on the 13th of December, because I don't know how much more I can do. By the way, I just want to say I'm not suicidal, okay? There's a few rumours, and you know I've struggled in the past, because this is a really hard fight, especially when you only care about humanity and not ego kicks and likes. I don't give a shit about any of that, but I just found a tablet at the bottom of my coffee in Wetherspoons, and I'm a bit paranoid. So if anything happens to me, I didn't do it myself, okay? Just so you know. Yeah, I'm not going to have a coffee for about 2 months now. So yeah, it feels kind of surreal, because in most places we're protesting and the public are on side, and we really need to keep them on side. So the way we engage with them, we've got to be really positive about this and not fear-mongering, of course. It's very hard. And it feels quite surreal that people actually agree with the issue that we're protesting against now. Apparently there's a bit of a counter-protest going on up there, but we'll see in a minute. But I know that the only way we're going to win is to know what we're fighting, which is why education, empowerment, getting into your community is really, really important. And if you can get to London on the 13th, it might be my last protest, it might be my last rally, guys, I'm not going to lie. It doesn't mean I'm going to go away and slink away, but I am truly, truly exhausted, and it feels like the attacks are worse than ever. I mean, just yesterday, I've had this is a bit personal, but I had an ongoing legal battle with my landlord. My property is a shithole, it's uninhabitable. For a year now, I've had a legal battle against him. He's just been served, and yesterday I got a phone call that he's reported me to adult social services. So I don't believe in coincidences, but I feel like we're being attacked because of what we're doing, and I just know that we're doing the right thing. But I'd ask you guys, if you can, get to London on the 13th of December for 1 p.m. in central London. We're going to protest, we're going to march, we're going to do something special. Hopefully I won't get arrested, but I really don't think I mind at this point, George. Maybe today. Maybe I'll lock onto something if we can. But sorry guys, I know I'm rambling on a lot. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything at all. I didn't want to read from this today because I feel like, no, this isn't about a script. But we need to call out those unelected and unaccountable globalist elites that want to control all of us, and show people that it's not our government that are in power. They're just seat fillers, polyester suit-wearing seat fillers. They are puppets of the globalists, and we need to point our collective fist at the globalists, because that's who we're taking on, not our government. I'm not going to beg the government with petitions. I'm not going to write to my MP. I think everything that we do counts, and I think we should sign that petition because it demonstrates the sentiment of the people in the UK. I think it is important, but not because they're actually going to do anything. There is a debate on the 8th of December about the petition that's got nearly 3 million signatures at this point. They are debating it. It's going to be on YouTube. So you can watch it live, watch a bit of fake democracy, watch a bit of theatre, see if Keir Starmer actually gives a shit, because he doesn't. He's just doing the bidding of the globalists. So that's what we're taking on, and this is the fight of our lives. And I think it's time to prove, once and for all, that the people have more power than the people in power. Thank you, Liverpool.
Big round of applause for Fiona there. Thanks very much, Fiona. Okay, next up to speak, we've got travelled in from Manchester today to join this event, Steve Hyan. Hello, Steve. Give a round of applause to Steve, please.
Thank you, and thank you to Fiona. Great speech, great information and great dedication to the cause. I really appreciate it. I've got 10 minutes to talk to you. I want to speak directly to people who are members of the public who don't really know what digital ID is all about. As Fiona has already said, it's here to enslave us digitally. I want to, in 10 minutes, transform your understanding of how this world works. Who's really in charge? I'm going to say things to you that you will have suspected all your life, but you will never taught them in school. You'll never see them in the media. The politicians won't say these things, but it needs to be said out loud, and you need to understand it, because these are dangerous times. I want to talk about three things: the danger of digital ID, who's behind it, and their motive. And I want to finish on good news, because there is a whole lot of good news about this subject. Digital ID is a paradigm shift in your relationship with the government, the banks, and your own money. I believe you are owed $50,000, each and every one of you. Listen up if you want to know why. Digital ID is like quicksand. Once enough people sign up for it by being tricked into the Gov1 login website, Gov1 login website, once enough have been tricked into it, they have digital IDs, and we will all sink in the same quicksand, because life will be impossible without it. Please avoid all biometrics. This is the yellow sign I brought today. It says refuse all biometric ID. And that's the message, because it's coming at you from employers, from travelling abroad, for EES, the new system for Europe, and it's coming to you from Gov1 login. Enough of that. Who's behind it? What's this really about? Who do you think really makes the decisions about this country and this world? If you think it's people like Keir Starmer, I suggest you have a rethink. Keir Starmer and politicians around the world are indebted to the global bankers. They cannot do anything without borrowing money. They borrow it and they charge it in tax for the next 30 years for your children to repay. That's where the money comes from, and that's where the influence is. There are no wars on this planet without central banks providing loans. It's the most lucrative offer of all, because when they loan for wars, it's a double win, because they get to loan money to rebuild places like Gaza after their crimes. If you don't think these people are in charge, look to JFK. He tried to bring in the greenback dollar. Governments are perfectly at will, at liberty to create their own currency with no interest rates on. What happened to him? As the song says, JFK blown away. What else do I have to say? Look to Liz Truss. You might not agree with her policies, but she was elected by the grassroots of the Tory party to lead it. She became Prime Minister, and she talked about the deep state that got rid of her But ultimately, the trump card was played by the Bank of England, who made one statement against her, and she was gone. Toast. They decide who's in charge of our country, not you. When you go along to vote for a political party, you're not choosing, you're not electing. What you're doing is choosing from two pre-selected leaders who've been rubber stamped by this banking system, this scam of all scams. Because the UK government is 3.5 trillion pounds in debt. Every government in the world of any note, including China and America, are in massive debt to the tune in total of $400 trillion. And people just are blasé about that number because they don't know what it means. So I'm going to try and explain it so that you can explain it to a child, so anybody can understand what this means. If I started to give you $1 I should say, every second, and I carried on for a minute and then hours and days, it would take me just 11 days to make you a millionaire. Congratulations. If I carried on giving you $1 every second, day and night, I would need to continue for 32 years to make you a billionaire. I would have to continue again for 32,000 years to make you a trillionaire. Yes, you heard that right. And the governments of this world owe 400 trillion to who? Who had $400 trillion sitting in their pocket? Nobody. Because the banks make the money from thin air. That's the scam that you've been living your life under all your life. You probably suspected it. We have been conned. And these bankers wield unlawful influence over governments around the world because governments depend on their money, and it's not money. That 400 trillion divides out to say that I and you should have $50,000 in our pockets. Each and every human on the planet should have $50,000. That's the size of the global government debt to these bankers who never had the money in the first place. And the few little shadowy figures at the top of this system will probably never see their faces, but we know what they're doing and we know their crimes. CBDC is their last desperate attempt to cling on to power because the world is awoken. The internet that they want to control us with ain't working because people have educated themselves and they know, and we're coming for those banks. Revolution is in the air. Make no mistake, these people cannot keep controlling our governments so that they make U-turn after U-turn because they're not allowed to commit the policies that they will outline to us. So, central bank digital currency combined with digital identity in a cashless world gives those bankers absolute personal control over you, your life, what you spend, where you go, if you're allowed to travel, can you exceed your carbon footprint, have you had too much alcohol. They can decide at the click of an instant button, algorithmically, as you walk through your life, as you walk through this shopping centre, through biometric digital identity cameras, and click for every single transaction. They know your life, but more importantly than ever, anything else, for the first time in human history, in real time, they have a system through digital identity that can stop you making that purchase based on whatever criteria they want. They will profile you. It doesn't matter whether you're gay, straight, black, white, Muslim, Jew, Christian, any religion, homeless, immigrants, every single one of you will be tracked and traced through your life. And they want to divide you so you're fighting with each other so that you don't look at who's actually causing these problems for you. You're all going to be enslaved if you keep fighting with each other. But I feel sorry for these bankers. You might be surprised to hear. I'm sorry for them, and I'm going to come on to the good news. They are petrified. They are panicking because they know the world is on their case. And this CBDC currency is their last throw of the dice to control us to the point where we can no longer make the internet searches and inform each other about what's really happening. The Great Awakening is occurring and you are part of it. every day people are seeing the light. And in this country, the bad news for the bankers is that we have a system of common law heritage which passes itself across 70 other countries through case law. We impact on the world in this country, and we can make a decisive difference. We have the right to say no. We are only ruled by consent. We do not have, it's a contract that they're offering to us, and we can say no. And when we say no, we will have a standoff with Keir Starmer, the representative of the banking system, and we will win. The other good news, there is free news available to you wherever you look. The light paper, online or hard copy, available here. An amazing information source. UK Column News, free online. They've been doing it for years to tell you that this is coming. Please have a look at them. You can use cash every day of your life. As soon as we push back and use more and more cash, which we are doing, they are panicking because they know they can't dictate to us we can't have cash. And we push back this whole system. And finally, it's about uniting humanity. We can't unite humanity through this because they are targeting the freedom of every single person on this planet. Christians, Sikhs, Muslims, Jews, black, white, gay, straight, Liverpool, Everton, Manchester, Liverpool, every single division you can find. They are gunning for both sides, and they want you to be fighting against each other and wasting your time with junk TV and nonsense. So what I'm proposing, and I've said this before, is a peaceful revolution. Most importantly of anything, a lawful revolution. We have the right and the duty to say no to digital ID, not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Please say no. Thank you for listening. Big wins for Paul there. Another round of applause for Paul.
Stephen.
Steve, sorry. Yeah, can I have another round of applause on our event here today in Liverpool for Paul Carden. Paul. Paul, thank you. Well, thanks. Hello, everyone. Hello, people of Liverpool. And so I've got to apologise. I'm using a phone here, so I'll be glancing down a lot. Okay, I won't keep you long today. My name is Paul Carden, and I'm from the Wirral Residents Association, which is part of the National Residents Association. And I've made the short journey here to talk about not just digital ID, but a few other issues as well. And it's not all doom and gloom. We're going to finish up with some very positive things to say as well. When beautiful babies are born, your government wants to brand these babies with serial numbers to track them from cradle to grave. Who here thinks digital ID is a great idea? Any takers? Who here thinks digital ID is a terrible idea? Yes. Thank you. Okay, jumping back in time, back in the 1960s, the research arm of the US Department of Defense, that's DARPA, got busy. They created the beginnings of the internet. Does anybody think they had our best interests at heart? Okay. And it grew slowly and quietly. Nobody really knew what was going on. But then, in the 1980s, personal computers took off. I'm sure a lot of you people bought them back then, some of the older ones. I did. There were Spectrums, Amstrads, Acorns, PCs, Apple Macs, and then they began hyping the internet to everyone, and that was deliberate. And in the early 1990s, people
people started to get connected via dial-up modems on their computers. I got connected, and I naively thought this was a great opportunity for the people of different nations to reach out and connect with each other across boundaries. But since then, it's become infected by bad actors, billionaires, corporations, governments, and secret services. I don't deny that it's still a fantastic tool for research, but it's also become the most dangerous tool of government control. I'm a former whistleblower who worked for two different councils, Wirral Council and Cheshire West and Chester Council, as a street lighting design engineer, which is quite topical right now. I left the last council in 2009, 16 years ago. But back in 2003, I blew the whistle at Wirral Council over a serious financial scam that was going on. They treated me as a troublemaker and tried to sack me using gross misconduct charges. They failed, and I won my case, and I resigned. And then later at Cheshire West and Chester Council, I lodged a complaint. Again, they tried to sack me using gross misconduct charges. Again, they failed, and again I won my case, won my pension, and left age 50. That was 16 years ago. Both councils said the same thing, that I was out of step with the rest of the team. And they were right when they said that, because I was very different to everyone else. I was the one who was prepared to speak out. So I was woken up many years ago to the corruption of officialdom. And I've been busy ever since trying to expose it. And that's why I'm here today. So on to data centres. Let's give you an idea firstly of how the demand for electrical power has changed over the years. Back in the 1970s, I went to visit a power station in Northumberland. When I was there, I asked one of the fellas, what's the electrical output of this power station? And he said, oh, it's about 5 megawatts. The UK government is planning to build 100 data centres this year. These can be big as 100 megawatts. Now 100 megawatts is a huge amount of power. So back in the late 70s, a large coal-fired power station in Northumberland was putting out 5 megawatts. Now, just one of these data centres is going to demand 20 times the amount of that large power station could muster, or 100 megawatts. So these power demands are just immense, absolutely immense. But it doesn't stop there. The quantum computers they use need to operate at close to absolute zero, or minus 273 degrees Celsius. And that's a temperature which can't be achieved in nature. This means they need to consume millions of gallons of precious life-giving water per year just to keep it cold and to operate. And as far as electricity consumption goes, the powers that be, and shouldn't be, try to vilify us for our tiny individual carbon footprints. These are measured in absolutely minuscule amounts. But they're trying to get into our everyday lives and get us to cut here and cut there to reduce our CO2 output. And we know it's all bogus, but at the same time, as I've just told you, these hypocrites are building single data centres that are guzzling the combined power of 20 old coal-fired power stations. And multiply that by a few thousand data centres in the UK. And their carbon footprint is absolutely huge. They're liars. I only discovered the other day that an old water tower in Liscard in Wallasey is being kitted out as a data centre. Nobody knew a thing about this because the local newspapers decided not to tell us about it. The Wallasey Water Tower is a Grade 2 listed building, and you'd think something like that would be protected. It's being repurposed into a modern data centre. It's operated by Liverpool City Region Data Centres, that's LCRDC, and it's going to become a 3,500 square foot facility with 48 server racks and rooftop space for radio antennas. It's under construction and scheduled to open in the autumn 2025, so it's probably completed now. So even listed buildings are not protected from these scoundrels. Right now, not just the UK government, but governments and private companies all over the world, in unison, are building out a panopticon. Now, panopticon is the Greek word for the all-seeing eye. This panopticon network can be broken down into its component parts. 5G masts for the transmission of data, lampposts fitted with repeaters, cloud-based storage facilities, huge data centers for the storage of data, and Elon Musk is now talking about putting data centers in space in orbit around the Earth. So there's no escape from these things. 40,000 5G masts have been installed in the UK since 2019, and they're all linked together and talking to each other via microwave radio transmissions. Just being here at Liverpool today, we are walking through an invisible soup of harmful radio frequencies. In towns and cities, they are everywhere, and the data that's being carried by this technology is biometric data. But what does biometric mean? What does that word mean? It's the measurement of life. So it's not just your medical records, your driving license, your passport details. It's all the aspects of life that mark you out as an individual human being. Your facial features, your fingerprints, your iris scans, the way you walk and move. Has anyone ever heard of gait analysis? It's not your front gait, it's not your back gait, it's G-A-I-T. And what this is high-tech software that examines how people walk and move. So they've got your all ends up. This can give a 99% match when it's identifying, say, a hooded figure who's walking down the street. Even at night, in poor lighting conditions, they can tell who that person is. And the way we walk and move is unique to all 8 billion people on the planet. You look at a country like China, 1.1 billion people, every single one of them walks and moves differently. And all of this biometric information can be linked to individuals, and then those individuals assign the number, a digital ID number. So every single human being all over the world at this time is having their biometric data secretly gathered and stored, or they are willingly consenting and volunteering it online. They're actually giving it to institutions online to work with. And this is beginning with all company directors in the UK. And this is concerning because of the implications it has for our personal liberties, especially when it's being thrust upon us in a mandatory way, in much the same way as we saw with the COVID vaccine. And just look at the implementation of all this. It's occurring everywhere across the planet at the same time. Has anyone noticed that? Think back to COVID-19, to 2020. Hundreds of countries all over the world, all locking down their populations at exactly the same time. I remember scratching my head and thinking, what? Who the hell has ordered that? I've been told in the past that all these national governments were independent of each other. And if they were independent, then they'd all be doing things separately and at different times, wouldn't they? But no, in 2020 they were locking everybody in their houses, and then in 2021 issuing fake vaccines at exactly the same time. And what does that tell you? And it's happening again with the rollout of the panopticon or the all-seeing eye. Every single country doing it all at the same time. One day soon, they'll have all your DNA, they'll have all your fingerprints, and they'll have the way you walk, the way you talk, and have your iris scans, and all this information will have been gathered and will be used against you in the event that you might turn out to be what they see as a criminal or a terrorist. And beware, all this information can be planted at a crime scene, okay? Your fingerprints can be planted at a crime scene, and the way you walk, your DNA can be planted there, and the way you walk can be superimposed as footage at the same crime scene. And they can have you present and seen walking at that crime scene. In no time at all, these psychopaths could have you, an innocent man or woman, metaphorically hung, drawn and quartered. And it won't be just you who's getting framed, charged, tried and imprisoned. It'll be your children in the future, and their children, and on it goes. I hope I'm not scaring anyone here, but when you're talking to your grandchildren, and they're asking you, what did you do, Nanny, Granddad, to stop this nightmare? I know you people will be able to tell them, I tried my best, kid. I tried the absolute best. But the people out there shopping today, I think a lot of them will be saying, I never saw it coming, and I'm sorry, I was too distracted watching the football, watching the TV, and reading the newspapers and magazines to realise what was going on. So these people out shopping today, which one are you going to be? In the days of George Orwell and Aldous Huxley, although the so-called elites dreamed about it, the psychos of the time, they never had the technology to implement this stuff. But now those dreams are coming true because they have got the technology. And has anyone noticed the all-seeing eye, the eye of providence on the back of the $1 bill? It's been there since 1935, and it'll always be there. I believe that the controlled demolition of the American empire is underway. Trump made no secret of the high-level appointments he made at the start of his second term. They were all billionaire data and Silicon Valley nutjobs. Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Sam Altman, and finally Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, which is worth $13.5 trillion. Can anyone imagine that amount of money? It's just mind-boggling. This has all been put in place to secretly push for the New World Order in the shape of one global government. Our controllers and oppressors have been secretly pushing for this for decades, and it's now taking shape. It's everything you're seeing being built out at the moment under this 5G mast and data center panopticon. They want it so the world can be completely controlled from one single location. I don't know where that location is going to be. None of us do. But they want a single, all-powerful, technocratic world government installed. And once it's in place, it doesn't look like it can ever be successfully challenged. That's how frightening this is. China is currently the furthest country down this road. The city of Nanking is a major political, cultural and economic centre. The whole population of 10 million people in that city has been signed across to a social credit system. The people are also using a programmable central bank digital currency known as the digital yuan. using their phones and their credit cards and their digital wallets because cash is being phased out and it's going to disappear. And the good citizens, the good ones, will receive high social credit scores. And they're going to get rewards, they're going to declare cooperation. They're going to get free cinema tickets and they're going to get free parking spaces. Imagine. Whereas the bad citizens who don't cooperate and the journalists who ask awkward questions will be punished with a low score. They'll end up on 0. And their faces at this time are being put up on large digital billboards so that everyone can see them. And these reveal their name, their address, and their personal details. They are being publicly shamed in front of their fellow citizens. And we could be heading for this nightmare scenario. Right now, we could be just a few years down the line. 2030 is 5 years away. Any people who are asking questions or who don't want to comply are in line to be punished. Finally, the psychopathic powers that shouldn't be are painting another nightmare scenario of climate change and sea level rising beyond our control, that is going to flood out all the poor communities that live near the sea, like they actually care about them. These are people like Jeff Bezos, Steven Spielberg, Barack and Michelle Obama, Bill Gates, and climate alarmist John Kerry. They have all bought multi-million-dollar luxury beachfront apartments in desirable areas on the coast all over the world. And in the next breath, they're telling us that sea levels are going to rise everywhere. They're lying through their teeth. And their hypocrisy is absolutely off the scale. And if we don't stop this digital ID, give me to wind up, okay mate? I'm winding up now, and I'm going to come to some positive stuff. I recently started working as a news researcher for the Light newspaper, for their online radio channel, which is called clearair.fm. Has anyone heard of that? clearair.fm. I'm sending them news stories every morning, loads of news stories. And I recommend that channel to everyone here. Look it up, clearair.fm. So, the good news, the BBC Director General and the Head of News have resigned a few days ago. They were caught dishing out their propaganda, caught out interfering and changing a video. It was the video footage of an hour-long speech by Donald Trump on the January the 6th, 2021. They spliced 2 sections of that speech together to make it seem they'd happened at the same time, with the effect of incriminating Trump and making him look like he was launching an attack on the White House. And I've got to say now, I don't support Donald Trump. I've got to put that on him. So they got caught, and now hundreds of politicians in the UK are rushing to the aid of the BBC, claiming that it's not a political organisation. If it's not a political organisation, why are hundreds of MPs knocking each other out of the way in order to be the first to defend it? In the old days, we used to trust our governments, which is laughable now. Let's move on to the next positive thing here. Bear with me. The commoner formerly known as Prince Andrew. Now, I am connected to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor in a small way. 43 years ago, I was in the Falklands War. But don't imagine because of that I have any sympathy for this fella. I do not. Even back then I wanted the royal family abolishing, and I want that even more now. Let's see how it pans out. He's lost all his titles, his family wants nothing to do with him, and he could very soon be facing child abuse and rape charges. He could be tried for that soon in a court of law, and he could end up in prison. I was in the Royal Navy many years ago. I didn't know Prince Andrew, but I knew somebody who met him once. This was a young sailor. He was walking through Her Majesty's Dockyard in Portsmouth, and Prince Andrew came walking the other way. In the Royal Navy, you are required to salute an officer on sight. This young lad forgot to salute him, and Prince Andrew flew into a rage and tore a strip off him because he hadn't saluted him. Now that is the measure of this man. He's the epitome of an entitled bully. Epstein was an intelligence asset who took countless videos for blackmail purposes. Andrew will be crapping himself right now. I'm just going to round up now. When we were down in the Falklands War, we used to get newspapers dropped off by helicopter with our mail. One day we got a sack of mail, we read through the letters from our families, and then we picked up the newspaper. The Daily Mail had a front page headline saying, Andrew decoys Exocet missile. And about 20 of us just fell about laughing. But the gullible man in the street picking up that newspaper would have been thinking, wow, Prince Andrew has just saved the lives of 1,000 crew on HMS Invincible by decoying an Exocet missile. Wow. Then he would have put that paper down, walked off and voted Tory. What a load of bollocks that was. It was the fake news of the time. Okay, I'm going to round up. I'm going to round up. There's one more. Climate change is falling apart at the seams. Two major banks, Barclays and HSBC, have decided they're no longer going to link themselves to climate change. Did you know that, Fiona? It's just happened a couple of days ago. Right. Well, there's a lot more banks all over the world, but if this trickle turns into a torrent, climate change is over. It will be over. I'm confident of that now. There'll be more and more banks leaving it. And when the banks leave, the dirty money leaves. The dirty money that's popping it all up. Hello, Kia. How are you doing, mate? Have I upset you? Okay, I'm finishing it off now. Thanks a lot for listening to me today. Cheers.
Cheers, Paul. Round of applause.
All right, guys. Got my megaphone out. Are you done?
I have 40 people off the streets in the last 4 weeks.
Help yourself to anything, love, yeah?
Alright, so guys, I know that we're going to go on the march. I think a few people have gone out with their leaflets, and that's obviously Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer. Oi, you're Keir Starmer today. Come here. Yeah, sorry, I'm not going to say the second word. I'm trying to keep it clean, but we're going to go on the march in a minute. Part of the point. We've got Keir Starmer, we're going to shake him through the streets, say whatever, different colour. And yeah, he is guilty of treason and you are a traitor, just so you know. And I do actually think we should bring back capital punishment to deal with the likes of him, really. So we're going to go on a march, and I just want to remind everyone, I know that you guys know, but this fight is for our children and for our children's future and for our children's future. We want the people on side. We want families and children to stand with us, because this is going to affect them more than anyone else. And because of that, I just want to say, I know Keir Starmer is a lot of things, but Keir Starmer is a traitor. We might not use the other word, please, because we want families and children on our side. We want the public to stand with us. So let's go out, hand some leaflets and march up to the old bombed out church and make some noise.
Go. Let's see.
Are you darling, you okay?
There's going to be more people filming it, walking up, than there's going to be on it.
So do you want to go in front of Becky?
Can we get people with a board? stand and try and
They
stand.
will crash the system.
Can we get people with the boards to the front, please? Try and stand in a line together. You kind of form a bit of a front line. Yeah, get in the front line, guys. Anyone with a board, and try and stick together and hold it like a decent race. Sorry, guys.
15-minute cities will follow. 24 hours tracks and trace. You will have to adhere to that to the phones, the travel firm. They're not signed up for this Friday.
We do, guys. We all get together. We're not together.
Let's keep your freedom, guys. This is tyranny. Keir Starmer in this criminal government. Say no to these criminals. Say no to Keir Starmer. Burnham, Rayner, Cooper, Lammy, and the rest of them.
Damon, do you want to get control of Keir Starmer, the traitor? Hey guys. Alright, we're going to make some noise. Through Liverpool. We say no to digital ID. We say no
To digital ID.
We say no.
To digital ID.
We say no.
To digital ID.
We say no.
To digital ID.
Listen, man.
We say no.
To digital ID.
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 Keir Starmer's a traitor. Keir Starmer's a
traitor.
Keir Starmer's
He's a traitor.
Keir Starmer's
He's a traitor.
Keir Starmer.
He's a traitor.
Keir Starmer.
He's a traitor.
Keir Starmer.
He's a traitor.
We say no.
To digital ID.
We say no.
To digital ID.
Say no.
To digital ID.
We 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 say no.
To digital ID. We say no. To digital ID. We say no. To digital ID. We say no. To digital ID. We say no. To digital ID. We say no. To digital ID. We say no. To digital ID. We say no. To digital ID. We say no. To digital ID. We say no. To digital ID. We say no. To digital ID. We say no. To digital ID. We say no. To digital We say no. To digital ID. We say no. To digital ID. To digital ID. We say no. 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 To digital ID. To digital ID. Keir Starmer's a traitor. 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 A traitor. Keir Starmer's 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 a traitor. Starmer's a traitor. Keir Starmer's a traitor. Keir Starmer's a traitor. Keir Starmer's a traitor. Keir Starmer's a traitor. We say no to digital ID. 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 No to digital ID. We say no to digital ID.
Hey, over, Mom. Keep it going if you want, mate. Same things.
We say no to digital ID. 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 We say no. We say no. ID. We say no to digital 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 ID. We say no. We say digital ID. We say no to 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 digital ID. We say no. We say no. We say no. We say no. We say no to digital ID. 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 We We say no to digital ID. We say no to digital ID. We say no. Keir Starmer's a traitor. 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 We say no to traitor. We say no to digital ID. 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 Keir Starmer's a traitor. 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 We say no to digital ID. 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 Keir Starmer's a wanker. Keir Starmer's a wanker. Keir Starmer's a traitor. 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 We say no to digital ID. 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 To digital ID. To digital ID. Digital ID.
Arrest Keir Starmer!
Arrest Keir Starmer!
Arrest Keir Starmer!
Arrest Keir Starmer!
It started, the work started with you, but it's got quiet, started.
Keir Starmer's a traitor! That's exactly what's going to happen if we don't win. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Any phone calls?
Keir Starmer's a traitor!
Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor!
Yay! Woo, woo, woo! People of Liverpool, if you can hear me, I know it's all I'm busy today, but we are fighting for you. We are fighting for your children so they don't have to. No one should accept a digital ID. They are lying to you. It is not to solve the migration issue. It is not for your convenience. It is not to make your life easier. When Keir Starmer says it makes your life more simple and stops you through rummaging through a drawer because you sell all of your data, you sell your soul if you accept digital ID. We say no today to digital ID, and all of you will too. And I can see you listening in the cars. We want you to stand with us, guys. Keir Starmer is lying to you. The government is lying to you. We say no to digital ID. It is a tool for total control. It makes you, your movement, everything you say online, everything you do, everything you purchase with programmable digital currency. They will control what you buy, when you buy it, how much meat you have if you've exceeded your carbon credit score. They will stop you flying because only the elite and only the rich will be able to fly. They will control every part of your life. It makes you transparent to the state, and it makes the state more opaque to you. They worked for us, and they have forgotten that they work for us. They are doing the bidding of the globalists. They are following globalist diktat. If you don't know who the United Nations are, learn. If you don't know who the World Economic Forum are, learn. If you don't know who Larry Fink is, learn. If you don't know who BlackRock is, learn. If you don't know who... Yes, thank you very much. If you don't know who BlackRock is, who are bankrolling this, learn. They're pay inheritance tax on their farms, there will be no farms because they want you eating fake meat. You will not be able to eat real meat if you accept digital ID. This is not conspiracy. It's written down in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17. Let's see. I'm so tired. I'm not done. I'm really happy. Yeah. Sorry, I know the cop's listening as well, he's listening. Because he knows I've travelled for this, because obviously I'm not from Liverpool. The United Nations and the world leaders who claim, listen cops, I'm talking to you now. You, no one behind you, please liaison. The United Nations, 193 member states signed up to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals in 2015. There are 169 targets in those goals. Target 16.9 is a legal identity for all. That is digital ID. They want everyone on this planet to be tracked and traced and transparent. We are, as they're concerned, useless eaters, as is Keir Starmer. This man is just a puppet of the New World Order agenda for 2030, and the United Nations is a moral cover for the shadowy globalist organisations who are really in control. The World Economic Forum, who, by the way, he is a member of, as is every other world leader. This is a globalist plan rolling out as we speak in lockstep across the world with 193 countries. It's a serious topic. You guys, I know that you guys all know, but everyone passing by, everyone in the cars, the police officers that are listening and watching here today, yes, all these PlayStation, thank you so much. And everyone in Liverpool, you need to know what digital ID really means, what it is, and if you sign up to it, what your life will be like. It is the key to total dystopia. You will not have any freedom. Everything you do will be tracked and traced and logged, and everything that you do will be rankable. If you say anything about Keir Starmer on the internet, you will be sanctioned. If you eat too much meat, you will be sanctioned. And geofencing will be implemented, and your life will be totally controlled, and your money will be totally controlled. This is not conspiracy. This is fact, and we are fighting for you.
What's your problem today?
I haven't got a problem.
You just shouted
I haven't got a problem. You guys haven't got a problem.
You haven't got a problem with me?
I haven't got a problem with you, no. I've got a problem. I've got a problem. No, I'm all right. I'm not a problem.
Just with your shouting stuff.
No, I'm not shouting at you. You're all right. If you don't know what you've done,
What's the road?
if you don't know what you've done,
Could you explain it?
no, I don't have to. You should know what you've done. Yeah, and you do know what you've done.
Can you explain it?
No, I don't need to do it. You say we're not friends, we've been friends,
no
we're not friends. So I think what you've done, what you've just done before, is totally out of order as a human being. Right, but there you go, you've got your uniform on. So that's as far as we're going.
The petition has 3 million signatures.
I'm just
in
saying,
October, the government
what just happened down the road was because of something someone said. Yeah.
Are we talking about the child?
About which one missing?
Government do
No,
not
no.
Oh no, yeah, we are talking about the
The
child.
missing child?
Now
No,
there
not
is
the
a
missing
debate
child.
on that
About what I believe the child had
Well,
said?
the child never said it.
Well, I've had that corrected. So what we needed to do was apologise to the
Well,
child and say,
have you seen the child? No, that child. No.
Are you going to let me
They
speak
are
or are you going
not
to interrupt
in
me?
control at
Are you going to interrupt me or carry on speaking? Which would you like to do? It's up to you.
You speak.
Okay, so what we would have liked to have done is I believe I heard something shouted. Okay.
Come on, you video this.
Digital ID.
Video that.
Do not download the Gov UK wallet.
Kid, go.
They are trying to get you to go to this card right now. There will be a digital driver's license on that wallet by the end of this year. And soon there will be a digital ID on there as well in that wallet, for which you will need a one login. Do not sign up for one login. Do not sign up to the Gov UK wallet. Do
not download any government app on your phone. Every single aspect of your life will be tagged to your digital ID, and it will be completely transparent, and you will be completely in control. Digital ID.
Well, you'll see it when you get all over the news tonight. I know that, but we should be just going on. You know, sometimes you just let things go. Instead of, you know, you told me what you told me ages ago. You turned around and said, sometimes I let things go. But at the moment, you don't seem to let anything go.
So are we trying to apologise to somebody and we wouldn't ask them an apology? I thought I heard that
well, you thought, you never heard anything.
I thought I had two inappropriate words, but apparently I only have one. Did I have one inappropriate word? Yes, I did. Did I be not to yes, I took or did I not turn it back? I tried to
Well, that child now, he won't get any sense out of it now. He's already got ADHD and autism and all that. I understand about that way, kids. It's a place for kids.
Wasn't that the right place for a child? So you're having a go at me?
No, I'm having a go at you because you turned around and said sometimes you let things go and then sometimes you don't. So that's all I'm saying.
We sorted that out.
I was born in the midst of that. Literally, in 1989, we got rid of our government. What is happening in UK resembles me what happened in Poland. I'm too young to remember those things. However, I am aware of the history.
That's the mic. No.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, apologies, I'm not used to this, right? A bit stressed. So, there are lessons to be learned in the current situation we're going through from a Polish history. I happen to be Polish. I was born in the middle of a martial law. We had a martial law in 1981 till 1983, where communist government at the end of their dictatorship roll out military, roll out tanks on its own population. I'm too young to experience this. However, there is saying that history does not repeat itself. History rhymes. It's not that certain things will repeat one for one, but those things from the past, the say rise of totalitarian dictatorship, collective psychosis like we've seen during COVID, those things, they happened in the past and they are reoccurring. That's what that means, that history rhymes. Certain patterns, they re-emerge. Who I am? I happen to live stream events between 2020 and 2022. I went to first event just being curious. Official narrative didn't quite stack up for me. I went there out of curiosity. I didn't have any opinion. Then I went to my second protest at Trafalgar Square in London. Scenes I witnessed there resembled me black and white videos from communist era, where you would have police, paramilitary troops battling, beating, breaking down the protests. Literally, what I remember from black and white documentary movies from history I was reading as a child came alive in front of my own eyes. In 2020, and I'm talking to you, police, in 2020, I witnessed twice UK police nearly killing a man, twice, not one, twice, in front of my own eyes. There is that saying, I was just doing my own job. So just think what job you're doing, because this is future for your children. So I witnessed this traumatized me, no end. I spent 2 years traveling all over UK and abroad covering live streams. 1 million people tuned in through my live feed, and this is what I still continue to do. I'm not taking credit because people are tuning in. They're not watching me. They want to participate in the events. They want to participate in the change. And this is what I want to say you about, because many people, they focus on problem. They are telling you there is World Economic Forum, there is this conspiracy, there is that conspiracy, but there is no outcome at the end. There is no solution proposed. I want to give you some ideas from Polish history. I'm not saying they will be ideal, but I can tell what happened in Poland. This is how we overthrew the communist regime. Literally, we kicked the whole commie government out. There was a complete transformation. There was no party politics, no individuals getting into government, getting to the throne. There was a complete transformation in a peaceful way, but there was a difficult history. There was a difficult history that happened. There was a blood spilled. We were under communist occupation since 1945. After World War II, we were handed on a plate to Stalin. And basically, at the beginning, people wanted to just take a breath after World War II. So they burned along with the regime. But then communist regime was oppressing people. This is what we are discussing, say like of CBDCs, central digital bank currency, like basically coupons. We had them in Poland. They weren't as smart, they weren't programmable, but this is the same idea. That means that you only receive tokens. So you would receive coupons from government to say buy 2 kilograms of sugar, how many liters of milk, whatever. This will be rationed. This idea of carbon credits, CBDCs, this is just a repetition of the very same old model. All totalitarian systems, all of them, whether this is fascism, communism, or Nazism, they are all the same in the principle. It is collusion of the big government with the big business. This is monopoly, suppression of free speech. The model is same. They got little twist on ideology, like communists, they will say no private ownership and so on. But in the end, that's what it is. It is a concentration of power. This is monopoly. In either way you look at this. And we are reliving this. That's what I say. History does not repeat itself. History rhymes. If you will hear same song over and over again, you will know what is coming.
Sorry, love.
The reason why you don't know is because this song sounds new, but the rhythm is same. Same patterns re-emerge. Totalitarian system wants to re-emerge. And this is what we need to learn. The best way to predict future is to create it. Don't ever be defeatist. Don't think that there is nothing you can do. You can do. I'm telling you the story of a Polish nation who overthrew the communism. So it took 48 years. At this moment where I saw those 2 people in 2020 nearly killed by the police, this traumatized me. I had a red siren over my head, like an airstrike, you know, you got this alarm. I was so traumatized with this. Seeing this, what I remember from black and white movies, I was literally anticipating that we might go into state of emergency, maybe military lockdown, like in Poland. And this was only escalating. What you need to understand, the numbers of people who went out, when people say that protest does not work, it's absolute nonsense. Protests do work, but they are only part of it. They are just response. They are just manifestation of willingness, manifestation of strength. Nothing else. But there is no, we need conclusion at the end. When this happened, I knew immediately that there will be few decades ahead of us. In Poland, it took since 1945 till 1989 the process of transformation. And it was only in 1991 when the military...
I can.
Is that better?
I can, yeah.
Okay. So in Poland, we had this process of overthrowing communist government. It took a couple of decades. Immediately where I recognized the pattern, I am pretty sure that many people from Eastern Europe who remember those things, whether they didn't experience them themselves, they've seen them on the movies, in the history books, we know. That's why we recognize the pattern. So I was, in that respect, I was traumatized, seeing that this is reoccurring. Because history, like I said, it rhymes. Certain patterns, they reoccur. You don't hear same song, but you see the same rhythm. And what happened in Poland? The blood was spilled. In 1970s, communist regime basically, this is what is happening in UK. People are cold, hungry, stressed. And people are suffering. But in Poland it was so much worse. Basically, government crushed the economy. There was a wave of protest in 1970. Government responded with force, used military, used police, and ask police, you, to shoot 2 people. They killed 42 people, injured over 1,000. Ever since 70s, there was a change in Polish nation. There was complete change. People couldn't organize themselves in a political party because this was outlawed. We were facing invasion by the Soviet Union. If this would happen, we could be invaded by army. So imagine the stress and terror. This is what we see under two-tier government. You can be arrested for joking against government. It is repetition of a communist dictatorship era, 1-to-1. This was happening in the past. So what happened in Poland? People were fed up. And it wasn't just this. Unfortunately, the blood was spilled. But there was a direct connection.
Oh, that wheelball, I just have a sticky lads.
It is from the state. People are kindly taking stuff. But then we are seeing police arresting people, hitting rallies and protests, then arresting people for being not doing your job. Maybe instead of being here, unless you want to learn something, you should be catching criminals. You don't do. People are fed up with you. Absolutely. Yes. Disgrace to yourself. Disgrace to your children. This is what you're cooking for them. Just for a couple of bucks, which will be worthless. Because you will not keep anything in this fascist system. Don't think you are in any better position. So what happened in Poland? There was a, long story short, there was a wave of transformation. There was one of the Communist Party leaders in Russia, Soviet Union at the time, died. And this weakened Communist Party. There was also election in the United States, and on a wave on international events in 80s, it was possible to register political movement. And in early 80s, 12 million people, I repeat, 12 million people registered to political movement called Solidarity. That was grassroots movement. That was not party politics. That was people sick of violence, sick of oppression. That was people who wanted to have a decent living, who want dignity of work, who want to be able to provide for their children, who want decent life. People were fed up, and this is so important. This is the solution that we can take. We can take lesson, and this is part of the solution. Not just mass non-compliance, mass organization, because we all share the same values. We want to raise our children, raise our families, provide for them, live an aspirational life. We just want to get by. We don't want genocidal governments throwing our money at wars. We don't want terrorists from the state. We don't want oppression, control, arresting for memes, stifling of free speech. We don't want that. This happened in the past and it's re-emerging now. In Poland, 12 million people out of 36, maybe 38 million population. That would be 30 to 33% of the total population of Poland. And even better, that would be 50% of all working adults. They signed to political movement called Solidarity Movement. This was grassroots movement on the base of protest. People, they fought their way over a couple of decades and over the communist regime in Poland. The same can happen here. This system is beyond repair. This system cannot be fixed. Promises of light companies like Paris, they will do nothing. All this guy wants to do is to get to the throne. And he is just feeding on your discontentment, on your dissatisfaction, on your anger. He's getting the votes of people, but he's not providing any solution whatsoever. And I guarantee you, the moment he will get into power, he will be singing from a different hymn sheet as soon as he will get there. So we need proper revolution in the system of politics. Politics works, democracy works. We can do this, but this will take this few decades ahead of us, all of us. I applaud to every single one of you who stood up since 2020. I see same faces. We're coming. Rain, sun or snow. Whether there's a couple of us, whether there's thousands of us. We are not changing. You don't see any of us backtracking, changing mind, now getting 37 guns to cut up, and then saying, sorry guys, I'm changing my mind. Never happened. The only thing that is happening, there's more people who are upset. Remember the polarization, when they were calling us chronic killers, conspiracy theories, disease spreaders. That polarization is gone. Now it is gone. There is this shift. People now see this, that we were right about everything, and we were also standing for the same thing. We are consistent. People see this. The situation will only get worse from now. Those protests, dissatisfaction, level of distress, all these things like cutting off benefits, cutting off finances. Pre-2020, most people can't do the math. Average person on payroll cannot figure it out. Pre-2020, that they were paying 70% in taxes. People will say, oh, you can't do the math. It's what, 12% NE, 20% tax. But then add 20% VAT on everything you buy, and there is a tax on everything you buy. There is a tax on fuel, there is tax on energy, insurance, MOT, everything. When you add this up, tally this up, you will be easily at 70%. But since 2020, if you pay attention, basic food items, literally like in communist Poland, they double in price. Every basic item, pack of orange, bread, can of tuna, cheapest basic items, they double in price. The very needed essentials, I don't mean luxuries, they doubled in price. And there is a racketeering scheme, because all those shops that you can buy, there's like 90% of food market in UK is basically controlled by a handful of large shops. You've got 10 large supermarkets and maybe 20 corner store shops. They control 90% of the market. Prices are fixed, literally. Do this, don't trust me, do this. Just go to any shop and compare 1-to-1, wherever you go, basic items of food necessity, just necessary items, not luxury items. They will cost 1-to-1. It's a racketeering scheme. We're being screwed big style, but this is what that kind of government is doing. We are not living in capitalism anymore. We're living in corporatism. And I'm not say socialist or I'm not communist. I believe in healthy capitalism. Healthy capitalism is mom and dad shops competing. It's your coffee shop. It's your neighbor baking cakes, trying to make a living. This is what the capitalism is. At the very basic it was. Till it was hijacked by big finance, and now we're living in the post-capitalist era. We're living in corporatism, where the game is rigged. Basically, people cannot afford basic living, they cannot afford to buy the house. How come living in the fifth richest country in the world, and you cannot afford heating and heating? You tell me, I might be wrong, right? But I see many people struggling, and I see resemblance with what happened in Poland. So in Poland, this is the answer. I'm not saying 1-to-1, but this is great inspiration. 12 million people joined political party. That was 33% of the whole society. They were fed up. And then also, and I am afraid, the blood was spilled. Like I said, in the 70s we had the strike of workers, and the government rolled out army of them and police. They shot 42 people and they injured 1,000 people. Ever since that moment, there was no coming back from this. And there will be breaking point in UK. There will be point. I witnessed this. Being at 10 Downing Street, I witnessed in December 2021, people were so agitated, they started ripping those metal plates around Downing Street. I could imagine if there would be maybe 100 more people there. They would break through the gate and the bullets will be shot. But then first bullets shot war started. We are living in these difficult times. But like I said, We can learn from the past. I'm not saying copy the past, but definitely this was the answer. 50% of all working people in Poland basically organized against government. They created grassroots political party called Solidarity Movement. And I need to tell you, all the leaders of Solidarity, they were arrested. They were held in intern camps, and they didn't sell out. They were proposed money. They were proposed position at the throne. They didn't sell out. And that's how we overthrew the whole government. Whole government was kicked out. The same must happen here. And I'm not anarchist. I'm not calling for anarchy. I believe in politics and democracy. But the system we're living under, when was the last time you heard about politicians being arrested or responsible for fraud and crime? UK is involved directly in genocide in Gaza, providing intelligence and weapons. Without this, they are providing refueling planes for Israel jets who are bombing Gaza in such intensity. We are watching Holocaust live, and you guys are scrolling your phone, seeing children burning, and you're okay with that. We've been through this in Poland. Read about Warsaw Uprising. 600,000 people dislocated. 250,000 civilians murdered. There was 16,000 combatants killed, and 80% of the town was leveled, destroyed. Warsaw Uprising. This is what is happening in Gaza now. We've been through this, and I feel also for British people who feel anger about their identity. And as a Polish, there is no better nation to know what the struggle for identity is, because we were having very difficult history. For 123 years, we disappeared from the map. Our country was partitioned by our neighbor. We only re-emerged after World War I, and then that's why after World War II, people wanted just to get rest, because we literally came through not disappearing from map for 123 years, returning after 2 world wars. People were traumatized. Just imagine the level of suffering. So they burned with communist regime, but they burned to the point. And again, it wasn't just 70s and 42 people killed, 1,000 injured. There was a constant terrorism from the state. This is what we are witnessing, but still witnessing in the South version. For what we're doing here, if we would be doing this in time of communism in Poland, we could land ourselves in the cement, with the cement shoes in the local river. Government was murdering members of opposition, journalists, priests. People were terrorized. This is what we're seeing in a soft version. But like I said, history does not repeat itself. Right? Patterns re-emerge. But the pattern is the same. It's terrorism. And this is what we need to understand. There is no negotiating with terrorists. We have to get rid of them. We need accountable politics. So many good solutions. I remember suggestions by Godfrey Bloom. Local politicians should be living in constituency. Only local people should be taking part in the local election. There should be no party politics. Look, Starmer turned on every promise. Whatever he said, not rising council tax, not removing heating allowance, and so on. Every single thing he flipped over. So what is the point of such election? This is a joke. Democracy, yes, it's a good idea. It's the will of collective. It's what we agree upon. But there must be accountability. And this system needs to be overthrown. I'm not telling you that this will happen in weeks. It will take years. It will take a couple of decades. But if you don't engage, you will forfeit the future of your own children. I know, I'm 43. I came to understand it after witnessing lockdowns, violence from the police, violence from the state, this direct attack on people. I understand it came to me that if that generation of my parents and grandparents wouldn't stand up to totalitarian regime, I wouldn't be free to I wouldn't be able to live in free country. I wouldn't be able to travel. I wouldn't be able to better myself. Is this the future we want for our children? That's why I wanted to share that lesson, because I think this is an important lesson. Like I said, 33% of the whole population engage against government, engage in political activism. What we're doing now, just handing leaflets, but what we should be doing, we should be organizing political campaigns with independent candidates. We need to completely kick that commie government out, 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 out. There is no negotiation with terrorists, and that's who they are. They want to slap you with the barcode. They want to limit what you eat, what you say. This cannot continue. This only can go one way. How much rope do you need to hang yourself? How much more do you want to give away? What else do you need permission for? Just think for yourself. Start using your critical mind. I'm not saying times are identical, but history rhymes, same patterns re-emerge, and it takes a couple of decades for us to conduct transformation. It's your call. What sorts of future do you want for your children? What sorts of future do you want for yourself? Just think, because there is no getting away with this. They are pushing 24/7. They are pushing this system. Infrastructure is in place. All those cameras, all those sensors, those digital ID, payments, cashless society, all these cameras at supermarkets. It's all there. How much will you give away? How much will you go to it? You can say no. There is 68 million in this country. Only 160,000 police, only 220,000 military, including personnel, including civil personnel. Against 68 million, that's why the war is always about your mind. It's a terrorism of your mind. It's a psychological trickery, because they cannot beat you. They cannot get all of us. And just think, but they will be killing. This is for sure. This happened in every regime. They will be picking on individuals, but they might be killing individuals, destroying individuals. But they cannot stop the movement. They cannot stop transformation. Now this is the question. What sorts of future do you want? Like I said, this is what we can learn from Poland. We overthrew the communist regime. We kicked them out completely, no negotiation. In democratic process, we didn't spill the blood. We got rid of them, but people were fed up. And there's another thing to finish this up. Because people were living under terror. What we're living is just the mild version of it. You can get hit for posting memes, but you're not getting killed by the regime. People in Poland that were murdered by the regime. And few of those murders, they basically were that moment, that stroke that broke the hammer back. One of them was murdered on Greece, on Moscow. This priest was preaching to thousands of workers. Like I said, 50% of working adults, they organized the political movement. They were fed up. How much do you want to give this government? Those people were fed up. They had enough. They said enough. They were protesting. They were protesting in not such an easy condition like we do. They could be murdered, arrested, prosecuted, and they still did it. They did this over decades of time. So this is what we need to take lesson from. Mass engagement. Look at the recent election of Zoran Mamdani in New York. He basically managed to speak to people's needs. He offers free buses, rent control. He addresses pain points. He wasn't talking politics. And he basically managed to get people to vote for him. They had, I believe, 90,000 people leafleting, engaging in political activism. And that's how he got through. And he won with oligarchs who were pumping billions in the political campaign. So change is possible. but we need to really get our act together. And this activism should be focused into politics, in my opinion. Just activism for activism's sake, it is venting. If we would organize, we would be supporting. Say we got people like David Curtin. How about we drop leaflets in all neighborhoods? Do this. We are doing this anyway. We need to really engage in political movement with a proper solution. Not just vent, not just react. Thank you.
Well in, lads. Well in.
Thank you so much, lad. Dad's been around since the very beginning, and some of the protests he covered, obviously, I organised. But I do have just a little bit of a response. I think this is what I said to Rad earlier on about lessons that we learned from other countries and what's going on. Obviously, Estonia, 1.3 million people population, they already have digital ID and their country has gone to shit. So we can learn lessons from other places, but just a bit of realism, because this is one of the reasons I'm actually exhausted myself. I have got 16 arrests and 13 convictions, and most of that is for organising protests, peaceful protests during the lockdown. So when people say they can't arrest us all, that always comes out of the mouth of someone who's never been arrested. Now, I've used up all of the grace I may see from the judiciary. I don't get probation again. I don't get community service again. So I've worked hard for the last almost 6 years, being arrested, being slated, being trolled, being lied about, and I'm still here only because I care about humanity. And I do agree with what Brad's saying. I mean, this makes me want a revolution, 100%. I've wanted a V Vendetta moment for the last 6 years. I have wanted that moment. What I'm going to say is real, because the women were on the front line in 2020. The women were being arrested, and we need you, men. We need you to stand up and stand with us, because I have seen so many women being dragged from the front line. Louise Creffield, Debbie Hicks, and Piers Corbyn, obviously. I mean, he's not a woman, but, you know, he's relentless, right? So he's been there. But we do need to get to this point. I mean, I have no faith in politics whatsoever. Every single politician, everyone that gets to that point, and this, I knew Robert Kennedy Jr. He's in the swamp now. He's in that position. I knew that man very well, and now I've lost all faith. He's pushing mRNA jabs. So I don't think people get to these positions without being completely compromised and being compromisable and corruptible. Okay, they get paid off, there's something on them, they've got sexual images or indecent whatever, and they are bought. So I don't have any faith. We do need a new system. We absolutely do. We need to build that system, and that's what I say. The people have more power than the people in power, and it really is time that they realise that, and they do fear us, and they fear us most when we stand together. But we really do need to step up. It's all well and good saying this stuff, but I've been on my own, in police cells and in courtrooms. Everyone, tens and hundreds of thousands of people have marched the street in London. I get arrested, everyone else goes home to their bed, I'm in a shitty police cell. For paint bombing number 10, I'm in for 3 days. They wanted to keep me on remand and put me in Bronzefield Women's Prison because I was such a prolific anti-vaxxer that I was a threat to the public. They wanted me on remand. That's not an easy fight to fight, and it's not an easy fight to fight on your own. So if you're going to call for revolutions, if you're going to preach to people and say they can't arrest all of us, be willing to be arrested, because I've had enough. And I am a woman, and I want a man. Can I say it loud enough? I don't have a man to go home to. I don't have children, hence why I take the risks. But I've had enough. I've had enough of pussyfooting around people's sensitivities and sugarcoating for false harmony. This is war. This is for all of our futures, and I'm only willing to go so far now. But I will fight to the death, because I know that I care that much about humanity. So yes, there are many lessons to be learned, but 193 countries across this world are working in lockstep, and they have sold our futures, and we can take them back, and I do have faith, and we will win, but it takes everybody standing up, because some people need to be fought for, some people need to be defended, most of all the children, and that's why I'm here, that's why George is here. I don't know all your names, but that's why you're here. That's why Damon has come here from Manchester, Helen from British Lions for Freedom, Loads of people I've seen and recognise your faces, you're amazing. But if you're going to say stuff, be willing to actually do it, because some of us have lived it. And we do all need to stand together. We do have more power when we stand together. This is going to be a long fight. It's not just going to be one tomorrow. We said that in 2020, which is, by the way, when the revolution actually started in 2020. We woke up. We woke millions up. I believe now we have that critical mass. I believe billions of people are awake. But this is the war of our lives. This is it. Because people need to see what digital ID is. This is it. This is the fight against the globalists and the shadowy elites that are controlling us, the bankers that are bankrolling it. This is the hill. And I used to say that this is the hill to die on. But we're not going to die, because I know we're going to win. I'm not going to let bloodshed. We don't need bloodshed. We don't need to die. This is the hill that we stand on. This is the hill that we don't surrender. And this is the hill that we win on. And we need to be willing to fight. We do need to be willing to fight, but that doesn't mean bloodshed and bullets. It doesn't need to. We have more power than them. There are millions and billions of us and a handful of them. And we are lions and we are not scared. And I will only fight for so long, but I will fight because I know we will win. And that's it. And I love you all, and I'm so glad to be here in Liverpool, but I've kind of had enough of the talking. I've had enough of talking about issues. I've had enough of talking about issues. I wear my convictions as badges of honour, but I've got them and some don't. And I'm sick of this. And there's people that sit in suits at conferences, like the Together Declaration. I'm sorry to say it. It's not about fancy conferences. It's not about fancy microphones, fancy banquets that you sell tickets for. It's not about that. You are the real people here today, and you will grow. This movement in Liverpool will grow. It will grow all across the UK. You are the people, not the people in fancy suits. They're still polyester suits. Not those people. You're the ones that will fight for the children, and you are the ones that will see us to victory. And that's it. And I am actually going to hand over now to Damon. Yeah. I want to come stand next to you then. Just come stand next to you. Thank you very much. I've had enough, if you couldn't tell.
I'll go Peter get the name wrong, that was about it.
Yeah. And this is Damon from British Lions for Freedom. And because George, look, it's really, really important. This community outreach is so important. Damon is out and has been out for probably now hundreds of thousands of hours all over the UK, handing out leaflets relentlessly. He's never stopped. He's had personal shit to deal with just like I have, and we have never stopped, not for one day. And this man knows the importance of speaking to people on the streets, and he's seen how you guys have been received. And I want him to say a few words, but I don't know if he can. But I want Damon and the British Lions and Helen, who's also still over there, and all of your team and everyone else that's out to know you're the ones that are building the new world. You're creating the new world that we want to see for our children and for their future. And I thank you, Damon, and I thank you, George, and I thank you, all of you that are here today. And I will fight. I won't go anywhere. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm a masochist, clearly. But I really don't want to be arrested again, but I can kind of feel that it might happen. But this is what I want to see. I want to see Keir Starmer arrested, and I do want capital punishment for these crimes against humanity and genocide and what they're doing to us now. And Damon, please say something.
Thank you, Fiona. Yeah, I don't really do public speaking much anymore. I just want to echo what Fiona said. I think that I've known her for a long time, and I can see that you know, she's been through so much, and you can see that today. That has literally just spilled out. I've got to I've just got to like back up everything she said. I formed British Lions for Freedom in May 21, and we've been relentless. The thing is, I just want to say this, you know, this is a message to the people, like Fiona said. If you're going to talk, then do. If you're not going to do, then don't bother talking to me or us anymore. Like, this is critical mass. We're not messing about. So away from, listen, the thing is, you know, this isn't a game. As Fiona said, this is war, and we need to have a military mindset. Okay? We might not be soldiers, we might not be warriors. I mean, personally, I don't like the labels I get thrown at me most, apart from shill and controlled opposition and all sorts of stuff like that, is warrior, hero, legend. I'm none of them things. I'm just a person who due to life experiences, doesn't like manipulation, control, abuse, bullying. That's all it is, and that's why I keep going. And I think one of the most strongest attributes that I've got is stubbornness through this. So I wasn't even supposed to say anything, was I? Thank you for this, Fiona. I appreciate it. But this is the thing, I need everybody to realise out there, like, you know, don't wait for somebody else to fight for you. You know, don't wait for a Donald Trump or a Nigel Farage or anybody. You know, you have to take action yourself. Don't sit on the couch. It doesn't matter to me, like I don't do what I do for praise. Alright? You know, people can call me a hero, they can call me a warrior and a legend to the heart's content. It goes in one ear out the other. You know, and as much as I'm appreciative of people's compliments out there, you know, because I appreciate people's appreciation, what I really want is help. Real, I'm not going to swear, but real help. The thing is, what you see from me, from Fiona, publicly, the smiles for the cameras, the bells and whistles, the cherry pickings of everything that we produce is minutiae in relation and in comparison to what we actually do and what we actually go through. And I think, just speaking personally, and I know I'm not just speaking for myself, if you could have a fly on the wall documentary kind of into my life in the last 5 years, it would shock people from what they see publicly, because what people see publicly is what we project, because we have to be strong, we have to lead, and we have to project positivity, and that's 100% what we're about. But I'm just going to say, this is hell. This last 5 years for me has been hell, as it has for other people. The message I'm sending, this isn't a woe is me message. This is a get off your ass and stand with us and help us while you can, because we're only human fucking beings. We're only human beings. We can only do so much. And without the team, I have my British Lions Freedom team, and then you have the exterior team, Team Freedom, Team Humanity. Anyone who cares, anyone who sees what's wrong, anyone that sees what's going on, stand up, stand with us and help us. Otherwise, one day, your rights, your freedoms, everything will be fucking gone. And you're going to have to look in the mirror, you're going to have to look at your children when they're slaves to a digital prison and ask yourself, did I do enough? I don't have that problem. I'll always say, I've done enough, but I could have done better. So, you're going to have to ask yourself that one day. I'm going to wrap this up now, thank you, Fiona. So basically, guys, we don't get this is not a rehearsal. We don't get a second shot at our fight for freedom. Fight now while you can.
This is a new megaphone. I think this is my fourth in the last 5 years. Now you guys are going to take the march back to the stall. I don't know if George has a little bit more planned, but obviously, woo! Sorry, I think it's really important to acknowledge when you get a beep of a horn, when you get a bus driver wave at you, when someone in the car waves at you and says, you know, well done, thanks very much. It's important to show them that you appreciate it, because you get more. I believe in gratitude. I'm very grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for the likes of Brad, because he's been relentless covering this stuff. Brad is documenting history. That's exactly what he's doing. He's making sure an accurate record is kept, and that's really important, and Brad travels everywhere. George, thank you very much. You know, I'm only saying this, but thank you very much. And everyone that's held these balls, I'm not going to thank Keir Starmer, obviously, but the man behind the mask, oh God, that's got so many meanings. But this is what I want to see, guys. I do have faith. Someone asked me earlier on, do you think we're going to win? We are absolutely going to win. There's too many people that are awake, but maybe some people don't quite know what's going on. So education is really important, because that leads to empowerment, and then they feel the strength to join us on the streets. And by the way, as a final word, protest works. I have watched the law, I study the law, I have been arrested under the bullshit law. Oh God, I swore. under the law, and I know that they're bringing out new laws. Shabana Mahmood has just announced that she's giving more powers to the police to shut down and curb and restrict protests completely. They would not be trying to stop protest if it didn't work. And protest doesn't need to be in London with thousands of people on the streets. It can be one of you with a megaphone in the streets, or even one of you just showing your dissent. That's what a protest is. They wouldn't be trying to shut it down if it didn't work. Our visibility in sending a message is what works, and that's what we need to keep doing. So we do need to keep protesting, keep your community outreach going, and make sure that people don't accept digital ID. There's leaflets available on BritishLions.com, I think it is. Damon, is it .com? BritishLions.com.
Yeah.
BritishLions.com and MassNonCompliance.com, and on the 13th of December I will be in London, going big, and I might not be going home because I might be being arrested, but hey ho, what's, you know, another one.
For freedom.com.
Number 17, right? So yeah, there we go.
Fiona,
Anyway,
for BritishLionsForFreedom.com.
BritishLionsForFreedom.com, you'll find a wealth of information and leaflets. MassNonCompliance.com is solely about digital ID, but I expose the architects and those behind it. I'm trying to get the fence sitters off. I'm trying to inform the masses, and that's all we need to be doing. All right, guys, going to wrap it up. That you guys get back down to the stall and go and make some noise back down the high street. I need some therapy now. Thank you very much, guys, and thank you, George.
Leave this on. Yeah. What's the bus here? George!
He's stopping it.
Oh. We're behind Bill.
He's the one who's doing his one in the right room. Ah, right, okay. You
Say no to
digital ID, digital currency, CBDCs. You will be on up for the full restriction of travel and food. Like Klaus Schwab said, by 2030 you'll be eating synthetic meat in bugs.
Cashless freedom!
Because you've got this net zero fraud going. And they will make you spend tens of thousands on your property. Or it will be a compulsory purchase. You've got to say no to tyranny. Say no to Keir Starling, Burnham, Marina, Cooper, Laming, Hayes, all of them, they're all criminals. Say no. Let's keep your freedom, let's keep it cash. Let's say no to these criminals running the system. They work for the corporations like BlackRock and Vanguard. They did not vote for you. These are liars, cheats and frauds. You've got to say no and keep it cash. Let's keep clean cash and keep your freedom. Wuhan, China, the 100 million cameras that track and trace 24/7. There's no cash. There's restriction on movements, purchasing food. If you don't have enough planks on that app, you will starve. That's what they want for you, that's what they will roll out. So you've got to say no to digital ID and keep your freedom.
Why did you want to know who he was?
I just said about it.
Come on guys, let's keep it cash.
Safe thing, you know, wasn't it? The organising group, that's one.
Did you saw something to busy or something?
Keir Starmer's a traitor! 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 Keir Starmer's a traitor. 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 We want Labour out! 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 We want Labour out!
We say no to digital ID!
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 We say no
to digital ID! We say no to digital ID! We say no to digital ID! We say no to digital ID! We say no to digital ID! We say no to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID!
We say no
to digital ID! We say no! We say no to Keir Starmer! We say no to Keir Starmer! Keir Starmer's a traitor!
Keir Starmer's a traitor!
Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! Oh, you can stick your digital prison up your arse! You can stick your digital prison up your arse! You can stick your digital prison! Stick your digital prison! Stick your digital prison up your arse! Singing we are the 99%! Singing we are the 99%! Singing we are the 90, together we are 90, we are the 99%. Taste of a traitor, selling this country down the route for a globalist agenda, Agenda 2030, the World Economic Forum, UN Sustainability Goals, and the World Health Organization, or election bureaucrats who take control of our land and our freedom and our rights.
Keir Starmer's a
Traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! Keir Starmer's a traitor! We want Labour out! Said we want Starmer out! We want Labour out, and we want Stalin out. We want Labour out, and we want Stalin out. We want Labour out, and we want Stalin out. We want Labour out, and we want Stalin out. We want Labour out, and we want Stalin out. We want Labour out, and we want Stalin out. We want Labour out, and we want Stalin out.
Slow down,
we want Labour out, and we want Stalin out. We want Labour out, and we want Stalin out.
Yes, farmers are traitor.
Yes, Stalin's a traitor. Yes, Stalin's a traitor. Yes, Stalin's a traitor. Yes, Stalin's a traitor. Yes, Stalin's a traitor. Yes, Stalin's a traitor. Yes, Stalin's a traitor. Yes, Stalin's a traitor. Yes, Stalin's a traitor. Yes, Stalin's a traitor. Yes, Stalin's a traitor. Thank you very much for coming on, Peter. I don't have a utility, and I don't need it. I have 3 lessons. Thank you very much, though.
The virus that man's power and knowledge is limited. Politicians do not have an answer for the problems we are facing in our world, and scientists are struggling to find cures for the numerous diseases. This book, The Great Controversy, points us to the source of all knowledge and gives us the answers to life's most important questions.
Don't come near me,
Get your free copy of The Great Controversy today and discover the truth. We only have a few books, so get your free copy today. You will not be disappointed, as you will discover things that you never knew. You will learn about history, current events, and what is going to happen in the future. This is your one-off opportunity to get your hands on a free copy of The Great Controversy. It is a Christian book that breaks down and explains clearly end-time Bible prophecy. This book is for everyone regardless of your faith and belief.
Ladies and gentlemen, a storm is coming, relentless in its fury. The perils of the last days will soon become upon us. How do you prepare to meet it? Please get a free copy of this special book called The Great Controversy. This will tell us exactly what we need to know in order to prepare ourselves and our families for what is about to happen. The present is a time of overwhelming interest to all living. Rulers and statesmen, men who occupy positions of trust, are watching the relations that exist among the nations. They observe the intensity that is taking possession of every earthly element, and they recognize that something great and decisive is about to take place, that the world is on the verge of a stupendous crisis. So what is the crisis on the horizon? To find out, get a free copy of this book called The Great Controversy today. The calamities by land and sea, the unsettled state of society, the enormous war, are portentous. They forecast approaching events of the greatest magnitude. The agencies of evil are combining their forces and consolidating. They are strengthening for the last great crisis.
Steve, coming all right today, lad, didn't he? Coming okay. Good. I know these flags are a little bit.
To be forewarned is to be forearmed.
Well, they didn't hang around with us, did
This is why we are
Yeah.
distributing copies of the
I mean,